The following original Link TV program was created by Culture Project and produced for broadcast by Link TV. To learn more, visit linktv.org/blueprint.
And as we look at the next clip, let's think about the framework that Rachel put out. If it is indeed a national problem and not just a military problem, why is it that it's just the military that seem to be losing their careers over this? But the framework, the thing that everybody's afraid of, the thing that should have stopped this, was the Geneva Conventions. It's the rule of law. And the Geneva Conventions is a treaty that the United States signed on to, and that treaty prevents the United States or any signatory from committing torture against people that it captures in times of war. And the Geneva Conventions talks about combatants, which are people that are fighting against you, non-combatants, which are people that are not fighting against you, and civilians, which are people who are generally considered to be innocent. And the question is, why didn't the Geneva Conventions step in to stop this?
9/11 was very much in the air, and I think the officers tried to keep it in the air. They tried to remind these kids that these people are our enemies. But it's hard to see how these young soldiers could have been expected to figure out who their real enemies were among a bunch of militiamen and farmers in a society that was completely foreign to them.
When you have your friends dying on your left and right, you can sometimes go beyond the pale.
The Office of Legal Counsel memorandum was unbounded, meaning it nowhere did it state that the application of cruel and inhuman and degrading treatment was prohibited. And at one point I asked John Yoo, can the president authorize torture? And his response was, yes.
If the president deems that he's got to torture somebody, including by crushing the testicles of the person's child, there is no law that can stop that. That's what you wrote in the August 2002 memo.
I think it depends on why the president thinks he needs to do that.
Military lawyers were outraged by the implications of John Yoo's memo.
And what they saw was an intentional decision taken at the height of the Pentagon to put out a fog of ambiguity, coupled with great pressure to bring results, to be prepared to be violent with the detainees.
People were being told to rough up Iraqis that wouldn't cooperate. We were also told they're nothing but dogs. Then all of a sudden, you start looking at these people as less than human, and you start doing things to them you would never dream of, and that's where it got scary.
You've always got people in the military who are just this side of the marquee decide. And one of the reasons you want rules and this code of conduct to help you lead so that you can use those tools to restrict this tendency in your soldiers.
They blasted music at them. Often they had dogs barking at them, and they would use some of the most menacing interrogators to create this sense of threat.
Soldiers are dying, get the information. That's all you're told, get the information.
They're short shackled, they're long shackled, they're shackled upside down. These are stress positions.
Stress positions, sleep deprivation, all of those things that I did that I would consider harsh techniques or violating the Geneva Conventions, I was told to do.
The spine of the United States Armed Forces is the chain of command. What starts at the top of the chain of command drops like a rock down the chain of command. And that's why Lindy England knew what Donald Rumsfeld was thinking without actually talking to Donald Rumsfeld.
Sometimes I feel that I should have gone with my own morality more than what was common.
This program is brought to you by Link TV for educational and non-commercial use only. Link TV is the only U.S. network dedicated to global and national news, uncompromising documentaries, and diverse cultural programs. Programs that connect you to the world.